This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So, fine. So with this little introduction, let's move forward and discuss or see the syllabus that I'm going to cover as a part of this course. And then, yeah, we'll take it ahead from there.
Sure.
Okay. Are you able to see my screens?
Yes, I can. One moment.
Okay. Fine. So, of course, being into HR, you are aware of, in and out into the HR functions like recruitment, organization management, maybe personal admin, payroll, time, as well as benefits and all. So I don't have
Right.
to tell you anything about the HR functions. So
Correct.
that way, what I'm going to do is I'll jump into the syllabus that I'm going to cover as a part of this course, and then you can ask me questions if you have. So as a part of this course, SAP HR HCM, we're going to discuss about the introduction, and then introduction to enterprise resource planning, that is ERP software, and then introduction to SAP, and introduction to SAP HCM, as well as the submodules. And then the first submodule that we are going to discuss as a part of this course is organization management, in which we discuss about introduction to org management, configuration of organizational structure, and by way of configuring the org structure, we configure the org units, jobs, positions, work centers, as well as tasks, and understanding and configuration of organizational management info types and plan version, understanding the concept of the transport request. Yeah, transport request. And we'll also discuss about the landscape or architecture of SAP. So basically SAP has three varieties of servers like development, quality, and production servers. So we'll discuss about these servers and the clients that are within these servers actually.
Okay.
Then as a part of the personal administration, we discuss about introduction to personal administration, creation of enterprise structure and personal structure, then configuration of the payroll basics, in which we have the payroll area, control record, period parameter, date modifier, as well as retroactive accounting. And we'll also configure the APKRS feature.
Okay.
Then we configure the administrator group and pinch feature, and the personal number ranges and the NUMCA feature, and understanding and configuration of the personal administration info types, as well as related default values, as well as the features. So, and then we configure the info type menus as well as personal actions, and then header modifications as well as the modifications. Of course, when we are discussing the syllabus, it is more like the technical terms only. If I mean, you would not understand anything here, to be frank. But then overall, as a part of the personal administration, we do the configuration of all the administrative related activities in HR in the SAP system. So the administrative related activities in the sense hiring an employee, change of pay, change of position, changing the employee master data, master data like addresses, or maybe the bank details, or maybe the work schedule and all this stuff, and then transferring an employee or change of pay, change of position, and then termination, so on and so forth. So all these are more or less into the personal administration related activities in HR. So we are going to do all these things in the personal admin submodule.
Okay.
Then we discuss about benefits and configure benefits. So in which introduction to benefits, and then we have benefit area, benefit plan types, and benefit plan status, and criteria grouping, understanding and configuration of input types, related default values and features, and then configuration of the health plans, insurance plans, and saving plans, and then flexible administration, benefit adjustment regions, and employee dependent or beneficiary eligibility, and the benefit program groupings as well as benefit programs. So the configurations that we do as a part of this course are more related to the US payroll as well as the US benefits. So as a part of the US benefits, if you have done your HR activities, for employees working in the US, then by chance, if you have done that, then benefits happen to be an important aspect, in the US HR. And if you look at the employers in HR in the US and employees working in the US, they actually get themselves enrolled into varieties of benefit plans. Like for example, a health plan, or which is usually called as a health insurance, and then dental insurance, vision insurance, then short-term disability, long-term disability insurances, and then life insurances, and then we have varieties of insurance plans that the employers offer the employees. So,
Okay.
as a part of the benefits in SAP HR, we are going to discuss how to do the end-to-end configuration of all these benefit plans. Yeah, so
Okay.
that is going to be there as a part of the benefits, and then time management. Basically, the time management starts with the employee master data recording, that is time data recording, that is a swipe in and a swipe out, or clock in,
Correct.
clock out, or log in and log out. And it starts there until we also do the leave administration, the quota management, absence quota management, and then perform the time evaluation and transferring the time evaluation results into the payroll. So this is the
Okay.
end-to-end part in terms of the time management, right from employee master data recording till sending the time evaluation results to payroll. So
Okay.
that's even you talk about the traditional HR, or you talk about time management in non-SAP systems, or the time management which is manually, in smaller organizations, it is the same process. Right
Correct.
from time, that is, when did the employee come in, when did the employee go out of the work on a working day. Then
Correct.
on a working day, did the employee work for more than the planned working hours? If the employee has worked for more than the planned working hours, overtime has to be paid, or
Okay.
some kind of compensatory off has to be given. Any one of these, right?
Right.
And then did the employee work on a day off, or did the employee work on a public holiday? So we are going to calculate all this, check all this, and calculate the overall attendances, absences, and then comp of hours and loss of pay hours. We're going to calculate all this, be it a manual system or a SAP system or non-SAP system. This is the only process that is that has to be done. And
Okay.
apart from this, if the employees have booked any leaves, then the quota has to be deducted, so on and so forth. So,
Okay.
and of course, finally, the time evaluation results have to be transferred to payroll for the payroll to be processed.
Right.
So, even in SAP, we have a similar process in which we are going to discuss about the introduction to time management, then understand the time management process, understand what is positive and negative time management, understand what is time evaluation with clock times and without clock times, and then understanding and configuration of time management info types, related default values and features, and then configuration of attendances, absences, and quotas, then counting
Okay.
rules and reduction rules, and then configuration of the compensatory off.
Okay.
So this is the end-to-end configuration with respect to time management, and then of course understanding schemas and PCRs in time management, then understanding the time evaluation process, configuration of the time wage types, and understanding time manager's workplace, which is an overview,
Okay.
and configuration of the cross application timesheets.
Okay.
So these are the concepts that we are going to discuss as a part of the time management. And then
Okay.
payroll is going to be country specific in SAP HR. So we are going
Right.
to discuss about the US payroll. And in the US payroll, of course, understanding and configuration of info types in payroll and related default values and features. Now, just to give you a quick heads up, info type stands for information type actually. Info type stands
Okay.
for information types, and we capture the employee master data in info type.
Okay.
In info types. For example, if you want to capture, the hire date, or date of change of pay or position or termination or transfer. There is a particular info type in which we store all these details. Then
Okay.
how exactly an employee is assigned in the organization. What is whether the employee is a permanent employee or a contractor. Yeah. How frequently the payroll has to be run for an employee. Is it a monthly payroll, weekly payroll, bi-weekly payroll? You know, and
Okay.
then to which position is the employee assigned, and
Okay.
against which department the employee is hired. So all this information will be captured in another info type called as organizational assignment. So like this,
Okay.
there are actually hundreds of info types in SAP. Yeah,
Mm.
in SAP HR. There are hundreds of
Okay.
info types in SAP HR, and as per the client's business process, we capture information in different info types. Use
Right.
different info types and capture information.
Mm.
So that's the reason you are seeing this term info type,
Info
most of
types. Mm. Mm. Got
and
it. Yeah.
then we discuss about processing classes, accumulation and evaluation classes, and configuration of absence valuation and off-cycle payroll, integration of time management with payroll, integration of benefits with payroll, and integration of FSGO with payroll, and then configuration of FMLA, then garnishments, then payroll schema, understanding payroll schema, entering
Okay.
payroll data, payroll process, organizing live payroll run,
Okay.
and then viewing payroll results, generation of payslip, then creating new PCRs or rules.
Okay.
So with this, of course, the syllabus of SAP HR will be completed. But then apart from this, we'll also discuss about a few general things, about the project execution, the types of projects and all that. So we are going to discuss about the varieties of projects in SAP. For example, we have implementation, support, so on and so forth. We'll discuss about these varieties of projects, and then yeah, and also we'll also discuss about the dynamics on the floor. Actually, when you are working
Okay.
in an SAP project as a HR functional consultant,
Mm-hmm.
what is the team that is going to be present, in the implementation partners side, that is the
Okay.
company where you're working, and then
Correct.
what is the team that is present in the client side. So we'll discuss about that, and also a few other, things that you need to understand about the dynamics on the floor, actually, how it works, and how you have to execute the tickets and all this stuff.
Okay. Okay.
So this is all about the course and the syllabus, and of course, eligible learners and all this stuff. This is not for you. Of course, anybody who has done the bachelor's in human resources or anybody who is hands-on, HR as a HR professional, all everybody can learn this course actually.
Right.
So this is all about the syllabus. Yeah, by the way, and then
Okay.
do you have any questions?
Question would be,
Mhm.
how would the US payroll alone help me at this point of time?
Okay. See, where are you from? Which city?
I'm in Bangalore.
Bangalore. Okay. See, most of the projects that we have, let's say almost 40% of the projects that we work are predominantly in the US payroll area, actually.
Okay.
So it's better. I mean, you have more chances of getting a job if you learn US payroll.
Okay.
That's the reason we discuss about US payroll until and unless you have specific job opportunities in other country specific payrolls, or until unless you specifically are saying that no, I want to learn only India payroll or something like that. If you have any specific requirement, then we can do it. Otherwise, generally, we discuss US payroll usually. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
And
So that.
then, yeah.
Go ahead.
And then see the basic configurations of payroll are more or less same actually. When you look at the basics of payroll configurations or info type 8 or 14 configurations, different
Okay.
configurations, or doing the payroll run. All these things are common for all the countries, but there are few country-specific configurations that you may have to know if you really want to get into specifically into that particular country-specific payroll.
Okay. Sure. Sure. And I had another question. So how different is SAP HCM US payroll from Workday?
Workday is a cloud-based software actually, and then
Okay.
I haven't worked or learned Workday anytime,
Okay.
so I'll
Okay.
not be able to really tell you the differences. But then it all depends on which product has actually captured the market already, and in which product you have most of the jobs.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's the way I look at it actually. It might sound crazy, but when even I had this question when I learned SAP HR in 2008, 2007, 2008. I had
Okay.
done a lot of research, as to whether I have to go for SAP HR or Oracle Labs HR actually.
Right.
So
People.
what I have, of course, apart from discussing, to my colleagues or, who are already in HR, or discussing, with few of my contacts on LinkedIn, what I did was to basically do a search on the job boards and see which which technology has, a lot
Lot
of
of
jobs.
job.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I did actually.
Okay.
And of course, finally settled for SAP HR.
Okay.
That's what I have done. So I say SAP, has of course captured most of the markets across the globe. That's what I can say. And then after learning SAP HR, if you can also learn success factors, at least Employee Central, that would be good.
Okay. 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 So
Because
and
it is a
how? Good. Good.
Yeah, because success factors is a cloud-based product of SAP itself, success factors.
Right.
So if you
Right.
can learn Employee Central, so a
Okay.
combination of SAP HR with Employee Central, I think you stand a better chance of getting a job.
Okay. And yeah, I had another question. Oh, sorry, I had another question. It just went off my mind.
Mhm.
So, how many hours of program is this?
Almost 50 hours actually, little less than 50 hours, and ideally we should be able to complete in 1 month's time.
Okay. Okay. Great.
And then, but then you have to complement it with your, lot of practice actually.
Okay.
Practice is mandatory, and you should be prepared if you want to get a job in SAP HR. You should be, prepared to burn your midnight candle, and then you should be prepared to put lot of, hours towards the practice.
Yes, I totally get that. Right. And I mean, how are the opportunities at this point of time in Bangalore for this?
There are SAP jobs have been always there. They are there. They will be there always.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
take on it. Because somewhere in 2005, I remember I was working as a recruiter in Bangalore for some time, and then
Okay.
those days they used to actually on these trolleys, the auto rickshaw trolleys. We have trolleys, right,
Uh,
where the goods
uh,
will be actually carried. So
right.
those trolleys, they used to put these huge banners or signboards or what do you call these boards where we have the lights inside, which so that
Okay.
the content will be highlighted even in the night.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Such kind of some boards they used to take in trolleys, saying that mentioning all the skills of SAP, saying SAP. Maybe you
Okay.
don't believe now, but that is how it was. I have seen that, literally have seen that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
such was the kind of demand those days, and these days even we have demand, and this demand will be there always.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
you need not believe me blindly. You can just do a search on the job boards. Go for go for Naukri, go for Monster, do a little search. Go for Dice, the US, do a little search on SAP HR,
Right.
or maybe Australian, whatever job boards there. You can just check. Don't. believe blindly anybody. You just check and you can take a call. That is
Right.
how I look at it.
And with that, Venkat, see, with so much putting into 13 years plus, I mean, I was a little skeptical. How would I do, or how would I perform on the technical side? I mean, see, I don't know coding, nothing at all. So I have my own apprehensions on that front.
Coding is not required in this actually.
Okay.
Coding is not required in SAP HR at all, but excepting at some place where we have the
Okay.
PCRs, where we discussed about the PCRs here,
Right.
creation of PCRs or rules. Okay,
Rules.
and then understanding the payroll schema here. Yeah,
Okay.
payroll
Okay.
schema, and here, and then understanding the time management schema similarly. Yeah. Uh, Schemas and PCRs in time management. See,
Right.
the PCRs and schemas, the schemas in time management are basically huge programs. Yeah, schemas are huge programs using which the time evaluation will be performed. Yeah,
Okay.
so if you have to perform time evaluation, there should be a program which does it, right?
Okay.
So this is the program. We call it as schema in SAP. Okay.
Okay.
So for time management, we have schema, and for payroll also we have a schema. And using the schemas, the time evaluation as well as the payroll run will be performed. So
Okay.
in order to understand in and out of time management or in and out of payroll, you need to understand these schemas for sure.
Right.
Yeah. And within these huge programs called as schemas, we have something called as PCRs, personal calculation rules, or
Okay.
generally we call them as rules. And these are
Okay.
also tiny programs. These are also
Okay.
programs only. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you need to understand, at least to start with, you need to understand how these schemas and PCRs actually work.
Okay.
Maybe you need not know how to write these PCRs or how to modify schemas immediately initially, but then to
Okay.
start with, you need to at least understand how these PCRs work, how these schemas work. Yeah.
Sure.
Which anyways will be covered as a part of the syllabus, and we'll also discuss about writing new PCRs. Yeah? So that
Okay.
part will be anyways taken care, just to make sure that you are not a layman, in terms of schemas and PCRs. So this is the only
Correct.
place where a little bit of programming is involved,
Right.
and to understand, to start with, to the extent which you should know, will be discussed as a part of the course anyways.
Okay.
So this is the only place where we have the programming. Otherwise, it's all configuration. Configuration
Okay.
in the sense, in the SAP we have a lot of nodes. So you have to get
Right.
into a particular node and do some table entry, and then
Right.
link it to some other tables, and then finally see the output. That is how it is going to be. So
Right.
it's more of common sense. I can say it's more of yeah, that's it. Common sense is what I can say. You don't require
Right.
any coding, coding knowledge. You need not be hands-on coding. You're not expected to be hands-on coding to learn SAP HR.
Okay. Got that.
And
Sure.
then coming to the success, you said you have been so many years into HR.
Right.
So let's say, are you open to relocate? I mean, is that an option you have?
See, relocation, what places are we talking about?
See, let's say you have completed the course by the end of April, let's say. Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just giving an example.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of June, you are ready to apply for jobs because
Okay.
you take a bit of time to practice, right? So let's say by
Practice.
the end
Correct.
of June or July, you are ready to apply for jobs. You are applying for jobs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And see, there are people who are really desperate, who have fire in the belly. And let's say there is a job that is there in Noida. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You applied for the job, you got the job, you pack your bags and you go there the very next day. That's all. You don't have to turn back and look
Think
at
about.
Bangalore at all.
Mm.
So, so those such kind of people can get the job faster, little bit faster. You say that no,
Got
no,
that.
I want job only in Bangalore. Yes, it takes a bit of more time because you have location issues. So that
Yeah.
way, your chances of getting job also depends on the location and how fast you can join the job actually. What is your current notice period and other things actually.
Okay. So that is one part. And how about, I mean, once I finish my course and practice sessions and all, I'll still be a fresher. So
You said you worked as a recruiter, right?
I have.
I don't have to answer that.
But Venkat, I'm a little skeptical on that front as well.
That's your
So
choice.
how do
That's
you
your
manage?
you only you can answer it, and you are the person who knows better. So I don't even have to comment.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Location, yes, I'll have to think about it because at this point of time, I cannot move out of Bangalore because I have a son who would be going to 8th standard coming year.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
And
So what it's in such a case, it all depends on luck and how many kind of positions are getting opened up at that point in time, and it depends on varieties of factors.
right, right. Sure, Venkat. So let me give it a thought. Yeah, I definitely want to move into technical side, that is for sure.
Mm.
When are you starting the classes actually? And do you have a batch?
There is one batch starting tomorrow, but then
Okay.
yeah, you can talk to Naveen and yeah, we can. I mean, if you are quick enough by tomorrow, we can start off. Otherwise, your choice. I mean, we can start.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Let me have a word with Naveen as well. I'll talk to him.
Mm,
And
mm,
then after our call, I'll have a word with him.
yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
Sure.
and then
Sure.
definitely you have to do practice, Madhavi. That is there for sure.
I
You have to.
totally get that, Naveen, because sorry, Venkat, because without practice, yeah, you'll forget. That is for sure. Sounds good. Sure. Uh,
Any questions? Any more questions?
no, no, I'm good. I'm good. If I have
Okay.
anything, I'll check with Naveen as well and
Hmm.
then get in touch with you.
Okay, and of course you will get a lot of material and all the stuff, configuration
Okay.
documents and all that is okay. You can share a lot of information on that.
And how about the certification exam?
Hmm. Certification exam, we have to approach any of the authorized training, centers.
Okay.
Uh, Previously it was Siemens, now it is called Atos. So you have to
Atos,
approach
yeah.
Atos or any other authorized centers that you have in Bangalore, and
Hmm.
then talk to them about the certification exam.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
I hope
is your
these
hiring
days.
happening without certification?
Sorry, come again.
I mean, do they hire without certification?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. 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 Got that. Sure. I'm sorry, you were saying something. I interrupted you.
Yeah. See, these authorized training centers, I think it's enough if you pay the exam fees.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be around 40K or 42K. And
Okay.
then, but to appear for certification exams, there will be a certain syllabus that you need to follow. And
Okay.
and there is a way to do it. And if you are really interested in completing certification, we'll discuss about it at a later stage.
Sure.
Once you get into it.
Sounds good. Sure. We'll do that. So I'll talk to Naveen and I'll quickly check with him as to how to go
Yeah.
about it. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll get in touch with him.
And with regards to getting job, Madhavi, there are lots of jobs. There is no problem with jobs. Only thing
Okay.
is how street smart you are. That's all that matters.
Got that. Yeah. Sure, Naveen. And yeah, I got that. I got that.
Okay.
Sure. I'll talk to Naveen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay then. Yeah. Can we end this demo now?
Sure, sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, bye.
Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.